I've just poured my cup of tea and we're going to open all of my characters' vaults. And we'll start off with my Holy Pally, which I did a bit of a somewhat charity key with at the end of the week. Um, Here's the gear, it's not very good. I was playing Holy with Strength Trinket and Strength Weapon, but it worked out okay. Holy feels pretty good. I'll probably play it a bit more in the future. Feels quite strong. I was just kind of missing having a healer so far this season, and I wanted some experience of healing the dungeons so that I can shout at the pug healers later. Um, so the gear's not looking great, so the chances of us hitting something good are pretty high. So there's only one choice, so we get what we get. But let's see if we can get something nice. Looks like Tira Helm. That'll do me. The Paladin is well and truly underway. And we got a Priory. Oh, healing that will be a bit rough, probably. Should probably craft an intellect weapon for that. But that's good. I'm just doing this live reactions. I've like not long woken up, so my brain's a little bit foggy. But I think there's maybe 14 or 15 vaults altogether. My Paladin, which you just saw, is one choice. I've got a Preservation Evoker here, which is exceptionally charity. It's got one choice, and my Warlock's got one choice, and everyone else has like two or three. I think I counted something like 71 plus 10s I did this last week, which is absolutely disgusting. But if you get a team of humans, then you can do most of the keys in like 20 minutes. Especially like Gambit and um, even Tazvir Streets is pretty fast. So the Evoker 668 gear is really not good. I'm going to play Prez. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really like it's quite skill intensive, and I want to like try and improve at the game a little bit again and just learn something kind of brand new. And I did a key. My brother gave me a key, and we got a guildie Nictea. Shout out to him. Um, and it was okay. It actually went quite well. It was a 10 Ecodome, considering I had no healing frames, and I have such a low health pool that basically anything looks at me, I die. But the healing itself felt pretty good. So similar boat to my Paladin, I want to try and get this like going. Should be pretty easy to pug as a healer. So it's got one choice. So hopefully we pull like we did with the Paladin, get a bit of tier, and then we're off to a really really good start. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, I guess they take it because my gear's just so bad, but that's kind of rubbish. Oh well, we're off to a bad start, but that's okay. I think I can't really replace these rings because I need quite a lot of haste, and this is not haste. But that's the way it goes sometimes when you just do one choice, you get absolutely shafted by Blizzard. So we'll do my Warlock now, which also is one choice. It's the last character with one choice. I did two choices in it last week, and I got like I think it was a ring and a belt. So I took the belt, but I wasn't very happy about it. Um, so hopefully we can get tier this week. I did record a vault video last week, but there was something wrong with the audio, so I just decided not to make anything of it. So I think the week before, when it was the week of like Delve vaults, I got tier helm. So A tier piece here would be 2 set. Would be 2 set. And there's a bell I got last week. Cryptverse. It's kind of good for demo, but for the other two, it's pretty trash. So here we go. Easy tier chest or something, come on. Oh. I mean, I have a 662. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's actually kind of alright. I think that's kind of decent, to be fair. My trinkets are so bad. My gear's just so bad. Yeah, I could sell that. I've got enough sparks and crests that I could just craft a two-hander, so it'll be a big weapon upgrade this week as well. It'll probably take me to 490, maybe slightly over. I didn't upgrade my cloak last week, and then I'll have this week's cloak upgrade. So yeah, I'll be over 490. I'll be over 690. Sorry. Demo does pretty good damage generally though, so it won't be too hard to progress this character. Next up, we'll do the Feral, which has 2 choices. Feral's kind of only fun if you properly stack the comp in its favour. You get like Sky Fury from Shaman and Mystic Touch from Monk, Battle Shout from Warrior, and obviously you bring Mark of the Wild yourself. Otherwise, you do feel like you're doing significantly less damage than like a Boomy would do, with like nothing in its favour. It's not got Arcane Intellect or PI or whatever it may be. You really need to stack the buffs for like the melees, it feels like. And I think last week I took a trash trinket, so we're chasing tier again on this. So let's see, 2 choices. Yeah, we'll just take the tier. I'm not really interested in taking anything that's not tier, to be honest, unless my hand is forced into it, because it's a complete waste of a vault. Even like trinkets and things, it's a complete waste because they've already said dinars are coming, so you could use your dinars on whatever trinket your heart desires, but you can't just go and buy yourself mythic tier. And dinars are a while away, don't get me wrong, but trinkets for me always feel like one of the last things you add to your character. You just get like your couple of crafted items, and you get your tier set, and you start to maybe like get your stats how you kind of prefer them, and then you add in whatever trinkets you like to play or what's good for your spec, and then that's your character complete. So it always feels wrong to me when you take like a trinket over a tier piece early on in the season. That's just how I play it, but everyone's different. The Windwalker has 2 choices. I actually love Windwalker so much. I'd love to play it in like a physical comp. I kind of cooked up my own build, which it's just a couple of talent points different. I think you could also play Slicing Winds and maybe play like 2-minute Zoon, but I'm still messing around with it. I'm 693 on this, so it's not too bad. I've got 1 piece of tier, I think, my shoulders from last week. So hopefully we could maybe get 2 set here. That'd be pretty cool. Ooh, yeah, we've got a Catalyst charge this week as well, so we can go and convert this to tier. Another Donny. I'm not sure what the stats are for chest. Haste Mastery. Oh, that's pretty insane actually. I'm just going to do that right now while I remember. That's a pretty cracked piece. Nice. So now I have 2 set. 20% more Flurry Strike. Yeah, that sounds... I can't wait to get 4 set, but the 2 set even just sounds a lot of fun. pretty good pool. We could. I've kind of got them in order to be fair, apart from a DH, but we'll just jump to the Frost DK now. I played like Deathbringer and I played Rider of the Apocalypse as well. They're both just so broken. It's actually disgusting how good DK's been all expansion. It's just like it's complete brain dead damage. You just negate all mechanics with AMS or Icebound or like even Death's Advance. You skip like so many annoying movement abilities. It's so brain dead to play. So I think I already have to say I took. Yeah, I got this from the Delves and I took Shoulders last week. So another tier piece or like maybe a two-hander or something would be cool. Or a big ring even I would take. None of this. Yikes. Oh yikes. I'm pretty sure this trinket's absolute sack of poo. I think we probably just take the bracers. Yeah, we just take the bracers. I'm not sure what mines are. 681 crafted, so. Oh, that sucks. That's not a good pull, but it's a lot of eye level upgrades, so. And we still have 2 sets, so I guess it's not that bad. Not sure I would play DK seriously. It's just I'm kind of sick of DKs. They've kind of dominated all of season 2, and season 1 they were pretty highly played, along with maybe like rogues to pair in with your enhance and your rogue. And I'm just done with it. Would rather play something more interesting. Can't remember what I logged on here. Was this the Brewmaster? Yeah. Brew feels really good. There's just a lot of bad brew players, or they're just learning how to play brew. I think you need the 4 set to do really, really good damage, but the already good brew players are going to be having the greatest time because it does feel really good. And I'm just like a brew in training, but I can still feel like it is nice. And I took tier legs from the Delve week, and last week I got a ring. So my gear's 690's alrightish. I'll probably craft a weapon this week, unless we pull one here. Probably just looking for a bit of tier to get 2 set, which would be fun to mess around with. Not this. I guess we're taking a main hand. Oh, I'm not sure if 2 one hands that good for brew, but we're just gonna roll with it for now. Jeez, it's been pretty cursed. So far, I'm not really enjoying these vaults, but it's just the way it is. We'll do the DH because it's also got 2 choices, and then the remaining 6 characters have 3 choices. Hopefully, I can play quite a lot of Havoc this season. I find it incredibly fun. It is quite. It's sort of like simplistic, but with enough sort of nuance that you can kind of express a bit of skill. Which is, I think, the best way you can design a spec. DK is a bit more like basic, and there's not really much skill expression, I would say. Whereas Havoc is a little bit more complex. It's not the most complex spec by any means, but it's a little bit more complex. And I just really enjoy Havoc as well. I think it's a great spec. I think I took Shoulders last week. So again, more tier for 2 piece would be awesome, as long as it's not shoulders. Cool. We'll just take the legs and convert those. Nice, we get to play with two set. Not sure what the stats are for any of these items. Crit haste, haste mastery, crit verse. Crit haste, it's not bad, I guess. I think, to be honest, shoulder's probably the one you'd play without, but not sure. Oh, this is going to be fun. 50% more Reaver's glaive damage. And 12 casts of Blade Dance. 12 slashes. That'd be fun to play with later. So we are now doing characters that have 3 choices. I'll log on the Boomy. I think Boomy still pumps to an extent. I still have the old 4 set, which was really powerful. So it's kind of hard to tell if that's still keeping my damage kind of high, or if I just see bad boomies and pugs. Just the amount of people who are 705 and they're doing like season 2 numbers is absolutely mind blowing. I don't have a character above 700, I don't think. Again, I'm 692 on this. I looked at a main hand last week, which was pretty sick. And the Delve week, I took a tier helm with a socket, which was nice. So a tier piece would be 2 set, and I'd maybe run 2 set to see what it's like. But losing this 4 set from last season it's a lot of damage. 20% Starfall and Star Surge is huge. But we're gonna have to swap at some point. So, ooh. I mean, I've just been saying don't take trinkets over tier pieces, so I'm gonna take the tier. That trinket looks so good for Boomy though. 90-second cooldown, mastery, basically House of Cards, and it lines up with Incarn, so that's a pretty good trinket. Another Donny. So I'll go and convert these quickly just now. That's 2 set on this. Make sure I convert the right ones. 707. The 2 set does sound interesting. Starfire. Nice. But that's that then. Feels good getting a little bit of tier. If you don't raid, which I don't, you are severely punished in terms of the time scale it takes to get tier. You kind of have to, at least personally, I wait for the catalyst charges. It makes me feel sick if I convert like a heroic piece, a heroic track piece into tier. Like, I only really care about getting mythic gear and converting that, because I know that the charge is like a good spend. It's a bit different later on in the season. If you maybe pick up a new character and you're sitting there with like 7 charges, yeah, you could just throw them away, like, it doesn't matter. But early on in the season, when your sparks and your catalyst charges are, you're kind of like desperate for the next one all the time, I'd rather wait and spend it on something a lot smarter. Priests, I got a staff last week, which was nuts, and the Delve week I got a helm. So same situation as my druid. So if we get a tier piece, we have 2 set and a big weapon from the first few weeks, which is crazy. It's got 3 choices, so of course none of them will be good. That's absolutely insane. How is this a vault? I mean, I'm not really wanting any of this, but I would guess this is the best item. I'm not sure what my trinkets are. Oh yeah, my trinkets are kind of okay. Mm, I think we're just gonna take this. I don't really care. I'm gonna replace this with something better anyway at some point. I don't really think I want to take coins. I'd rather just take a little buff, a gear improvement, Arakara. Oh well, I think I looked at this Sacred on my last key, so it's not even played with it. I don't think. 696. I mean, this drink is decent, but you kind of want some big on use for your Void Form and PI. That's extremely disappointing. Three choices and two of them are trinkets and a ring. I mean, that's like you quickly realise why people stop playing this game because the vault's not been reworked since BFA or something. The loot system is shambolic. Okay, this is the prop paladin, which is a little hobby. I just like to tank some keys now and again. This has got three choices. I got tier shoulders last week. Another the Delphic I took coins, so another tier piece would be good, and I can change from Templar to Lightsmith. Oh my god, like this is literally just the priest's vault. Trinket on either side and a ring in the middle, like how can this be vaults? I just don't understand. I mean, Pacemaker is quite solid, but Jesus Christ, that's oh god. I already have a Pacemaker 684, so I know like that I quite like playing with it, but it's absolutely disgusting. Yep. Just makes you want to log off and not play the game. I do have look at all these pieces sitting in my bags that I could convert, so I could still get two set. But there's way too many stupid trinkets to put in the game that no one ever picks, but they're just there to dilute the pool. Especially in this season where they've given you a cloak. You've kind of still got the disc belt from season 2, and you want the feet slot for the boots from the raid that empower your cloak, and then you want your tier pieces, and then maybe one or two crafts. Like you basically have no gear to decide. It's actually pretty badly thought out. My mage got absolutely shafted last week. I got this trinket from three choices, so I'm basically dying for some tier, which we should. I think we'll hit at some point. Should be high favored. Of course, it's three pretty solid choices. And last week was like double trinket neck or something. I think we just take the legs. Just take the biggest stat piece. Well, it's the whole system's cooked. Blizzard really need to improve it for Midnight or Mythic Plus is. It feels like Mythic Plus is just growing all the time. But like they don't ever look to improve it. But Raid seems to be dying all the time, and they're always like, "Oh, like come and do this for Raid," and Oh yeah, we've now got renowned tracks for raids and things like, but they just leave Mythic Plus. I don't know. Mythic Plus, in my opinion, is what keeps the game going, and raiding doesn't. There's way too many people who just log on for a raid, then log off. Like they don't give anything to the game. They don't help the game grow in any way. Mythic Plus, like, if you're really strapped for time, you've got a busy personal life, you can jump on for one key for half an hour and then just log off, and you're still getting a decent chance of getting some loot, and you'll get like a weekly vault. Not many people have the time to commit to raiding 3-4 hours a night, even if it's once a week. It's a lot of time. Anyway, I hate raids, so that was that. This is my like elemental junior. I've got two elementals because that's what I love playing, and I kind of caveated with having terrible vaults, so I thought I'd make a second shaman elemental, and so that at least one of them should be a bit blessed with luck. Last week I took gloves on this for tier, and I have my 6 tokens from the Delve week. So any other tier item but gloves and we can get 2 set, which is extremely powerful. 100% chance to get a charge of Tempest when you activate Sentence, and every 9 Awakening Storms you get a Sentence. I mean, that's crazy strong. So here's hoping, and if not this shaman, maybe the other shaman. I mean, the legs are really good. That ring's also insane. That's absolute trash. I don't remember doing Raid Finder, but obviously not taking that. That ring would have been good, but it's a ring. We just take the legs and convert them. It's for 2 set. Oh, finally. I've seen so many bad early shamans. It's actually quite mind blowing. Always, like, all the specs that I enjoy to play, like, that you've basically just seen me open vaults on, I like to try invite them to keys and see like how they're performing, like with 2 set, 4 set, with max level weapon or whatever it may be, or like interesting talent choices, to see how I stack up against them. And I've invited quite a lot of elemental shamans because they're a wee bit bottom at the moment, especially if you raid, because they're strong in the raid. But they're all terrible. They're all so bad. They have no idea how the spec works, and they just rely on their 3-minute burst. And when they don't have a sentence, they're just doing absolutely shambolic damage. This is the main shaman now. This is like the shaman that's come into this season with the best gear. Although after a few weeks they're both kind of level on gear. They've both got crafted shield main hand, 1 piece of tier. My shaman just got the 2nd piece, and I think if I get tier here, they're basically going to be similar eye levels and similar in terms of like their stats, their gear. I'm probably going to stat them slightly differently, just to see. My last shaman's probably a bit of an experimental shaman. This is like the one that I really like care for. So I really hope we get a bit of tier. I think I got legs on this last week in my bag somewhere. And again, I took the coins from the Delve week. So hook me up with some tier, then we could probably call this week a success overall. I mean, we just take the gloves. There's so many trinkets. We just take the gloves for 2 set. That's strange that both shamans have 2 set and it's the exact same 2 pieces. Hmm. Sus. Gambit. I'm excited to play it. Really excited to play it because I'm not 100% sure. I played it a little bit in PTR, but I was really, really early on. I could put these on too. Um, so I can't remember all the changes. That's yeah. I'm only 695. Yikes. Um, I'm not sure if you get the Tempest when you proc Ascendance. Obviously, when you press Ascendance, you get the Tempest from the 2 set. But when you proc Ascendance, do you still get it? That's what I want to check right now. So we've got on. So we're just going to try and force a proc. Let's see. I need to force a proc when I don't have Ascendance though. When I don't have Tempest, sorry though. Oh, so it does give you Tempest. Oh wow. Oh wow. This is gonna be hella fun. I just want to double check that again. You can see my little recorder here that's got the 4. That's for the Awakening Storms. Oh my god, there's so much Tempest damage. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. You're just in a sentence so much. Okay. Alright, okay, now we just want the 4 set and just like it's Jover. It's Jover. I'll be farming people. Well, this is gonna be a lot of fun. So we'll do like a little quick recap of the characters. Shaman was a win, got tier. Druid was a win, we got tier. Mage was a win, we got tier. DH was a win, we got tier. DK that was a loss. That was terrible bracers. Paladin was a loss. That was terrible. Well, not terrible, but that was a trinket. Not that interesting. Windwalker was a win. It was tier. Priest was a loss. It was that Anubikaj trinket. Shaman was a win. It was tier. Brewmaster was. I don't remember, but I feel like it was a loss because it can't have been very interesting if I can't remember. I don't think it was tier. I think it was like. Oh, it was a weapon. It was a main hand weapon. That's kind of alright, but it's a one hander, so that's kind of not alright. Feral. I don't even remember, to be honest. Yeah, I don't remember Feral. Was it also tier? Not sure. The Warlock was a trinket. The Paladin was tier, which that was a big win. And it's not got my Evoker, but it was a massive loss. Interesting. Um, Overall, more wins than losses, so we take that. It's gonna be so much fun playing with the 2 sets this week. And next week, I think we get the other half spark, so we could craft another item. So in maybe another 2 weeks, you're going to be looking at like the average player is just going to be like 710 plus, 710 plus. It's pretty fast to gear this season, and then you can start pushing keys and doing whatever else you want to do. I'm just gonna double check what item I got my fair off. Was it tier or was it something bad? I feel like it was something bad, but oh, no, it was tier. Oh, I just don't have another piece of tier. That's why. So yeah, it's not like 2 set. That's probably what it was. confusing me. Oh, Feral's another one then, and I can craft a weapon now that we didn't pull one. Got the sparks there, so this will take a massive jump in eye level as well. I'll have 2 cloak upgrades to do on it as well. Nice. Okay, it was a bit of a long-winded ramble, just off the cuff, but that was the vaults for this week. So I'll do probably like next week will probably be quite a big vault opening, but then after that it's gonna like probably teeter out a bit. I'll just do whatever I can be bothered doing, see what I enjoy playing, see what fits into comps. Fingers crossed for Elemental or Windwalker maybe. But I hope you enjoyed my little adventure on the vaults, and that you can maybe enjoy my disappointment, and that makes you feel less bad about your own. But I will upload this, and I'll probably do another one next week. So if you're around, then I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.